Good evening. Welcome to Poetika 91, and our theme tonight is travel. So let's see what we have in store. I'm going to start you off with a few poems because we don't have a guest poet tonight, so you might have to put up with me and Nicky going on a bit longer. So I thought I'd do one based on my costume tonight. Sailor. Little boats sail through my stripes, ribbons of ocean hanging on my skin. I can't help touching the water, fingers dancing in the tide, the dancing tide. Yellow hats, like one from a song, felt, floppy and silly, held down in the wind. I stop it from blowing away, and the sun shines on the sea, shining yellow gold. Mermaids sit on fishing hooks between the waves and wait for me. I see my scales glisten under the salted sun. Sunny, salty, always. Cornish smocks and thoughts of fishermen, thick cotton becomes the water. Do I throw down my anchor, or do I swim away? Or maybe they're the same thing. Plane, a poem about flying. Fluff and puff and military stuff. Time stands still and downs it in one, and take off shies from the clouds and the skies, and all in one. The bubbles bluff, candy floss, circus fuss. The fizz makes us tough. The edge of the land and the sea, the white slash, the imprisoned and the free. Like a bird, like a plane, and still the wind and the sun, the drinks we drowned in one, fly forward the same, the candy floss in the sky, the sleet, the wet, the breathing dry, Icarus wings that slip, the turbulent trips, and the dreams that slip, from cotton wool, where pirate ships, and mermaids in barrels, that float and quarrel, washing up on the shore, the growth of more, sand and petrol sea, wind and sails and free, to the ship, to the clouds, to the warmth we need, down from the sky and into the sea. I wrote that when I was on diazepam on an aeroplane, so it probably doesn't make much sense, but it helped. Sleep clouds, if I can find it. Warm, wading into dreams, soft and jagged, salty and sweet, the brutality of rock and tide, like sliding sheets, cruise liners rocking themselves to sleep on the horizon, and the heat is thick, but the clouds aren't cruel, they sit like ships and wait for the pull, water ready to fall, it waits to be cooled. I am water, the clouds call to the sea, I am water. I am water. I am water. It's me. Okay, and finally, the one I wrote about, it's called Coming Home, so make of that what you will. How the fuck did I get here? With a ball and a screen and men in shorts and questioning how that grass is so damn green. Do they roll it out new every day? But really, how am I sitting at a football match at a pub? My half pint over ice, not even half time, and I'm screaming when they hit or miss, like I'm part of some club. And holy fucking guacamole, the screen's gone blank, error code, and everyone's going unheard of, wildebeest, scary, mad. Projector cable knocked out by our clattering claps, reconnecting just in time. And Jamie's the hero, England score, but he's the man of the match. Stood on the bench, lights in my face, and I'm so fucking high as a kite, with less than 2 pints, and we're 2-1. Try and straighten out the shapes, and match the match to the square. And Jamie's back up there, holding it all up. Drama in the blue screen of death. But how the hell am I here? I don't watch football, and I don't like crowds as big and loud as this. But here I am, and these people around me feel safe and sound can be, as sound can be. Take me as I come, and I'll take everyone as they are. And holy fuck, we only bloody went and won, and I'm not even drunk. But how did this come to pass? How did coming home mean football here? It's a strange, switching, flicking twitch of ticking time from musty rooms and fussy pubs and dusty poets and their rusty words, but with some oil, some hearts, and cooking it thick. We ran it slick, playing ball and all, from sloshy stumbles under a battered marquee and grumbling me, pushing for a change in the story. Had a chat with the man in charge, trying to do something smart in as inebriated a manner as one can. So, Mr. Flat Cat Punk Rock Steam Drunk Top Bloke gave a fuck, said bring it to my pub. So I guess that's how I'm here. Football fans and pints of beer, part of something, atmosphere. Somehow poetry, music, and the one I don't quite see, sport, brought it home to me. See, I quite like it at the Winnie Gate, with Rob and Abby and Reuben Blake, and Jamie knowing the Ria special. It's only a half pint and a pint glass of cider over ice, if anyone asks. Where's my camera? Where's my bike? Left it here, but it's always safe. Though my head feels pretty sore. And back we are, squeezed in with a smile at the table, wobbling while we cheer, or sharply inhale. It's tense, tense, tense in the tent. And the cider and the beer and the ale are secondary. Projector fixed as tight and the crowd as loud as Projector fixed as tight and the crowd loud as drawn as quiet, and quiet ringing our ears and telling everyone we aren't, and me telling everyone we aren't even there, we're right here. But again, how on this crazy spinning day and night bringing life-giving earth am I here? This is the football final, and I'm doing what everyone else is, even though I thought I'd be too distant to join in. And I'm not even emulating. I'm actually invested, and I'm feeling it, surrounded by people I care about. I didn't think I'd have friends when I was pulled to Salisbury, my money stripped from me, my direction jarred, isolated and encapsulated in my own uncertainty, things built and ripped apart, and my heart aching in loss, thudding misery through my veins, and my discovery, this tricky up and down head of mine, will perpetually bring my mind around and around and around. So no, I didn't expect to be watching football with my friends. I didn't expect to stand on a stage and call you talented people up and watch every brave word exit on your breath. Raw emotions fluttering around us and clattering on our teeth as we expel our comments on the world around us. We are here, and it's not just a game. It's our fantastic, extraordinary, contributory collective, and I call that a victory. Football might not be home, but we are. I would like to bring up Kat Jones. Let's give her a round of applause, everybody.
I was so disappointed to find out a Ria special was a thing.
Yeah. Hi, there's going to be a long pause because I normally have a printout, but that didn't happen today, so I've got to find it on my phone. And then it's really long and tiny.
Long and tiny?
Yeah, do we like long and tiny?
How can it be long and tiny?
Tiny words. Tiny.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Tiny text.
Tiny font. Okay. It is on theme. It's called Unravel a Decade of Travel. Suit yourself up real smart and drive me to a place where the walls bleed dark, where the roof is broken and the words spoken are unheard, as all the night birds flock to exchange pleasantries of intensity, identity and handshakes woven with ecstasy. May we dress ourselves in smiley faces and blacked out glasses. You're the only one allowed to make the passes, to rise my blood pressure because we've come a long, long way together, and I'll praise you like I should. Flip side me into that Ford and slam in a cassette, and you gotta bet that I want the windows down, the air to slap my face with volume 11 as Spinal Tap said. Take me for the ride, take me on your ride, blur the roadside.
Keep me satisfied, purify me by making me unpurified. Get the speed up on the hillside as the Fiesta hits fifth on the tarmac. Turn up the Prodigy soundtrack so that the sweat on my back sliding down my neck. Salt on my nape, salt on your lips, salt and lime like the grime of the tires which fly. Fly me to the moon as the day dies its death. Escape into a room filled with a mass of sweating breath. Pause. Check the gauge and fill me with blue sage. Engage the brakes, engage me and trace my ribcage. Blow the bloody doors off and let us fall onto our sides. Take a Kit Kat from the drive and let us freewheel ourselves upside down. Looking up into the California sunshine. Tell me it's mine, tell me it's fine. Love me like Lucy on the sky with diamonds. Let our minds line the horizon. Take a line on the concrete and turn up the beat. Let the distance dictate our taste and navigate our maps of fingerprints, tint and tating, finger painting our way to that silver psychedelic state. Grass stains on our knees and brown paper rolls with weed. Feed me ice cream with flakes and coke in my glass and coke in my nose like a little nose or a rose off the street. Cornflakes for breakfast is what they say. Let's get milk, get back on our feet. There's an offie down the street. And then it's maxed out our climax and we get back on the tracks. Let's get back home, loosen that tux now, let down my hair. Sober me up with a Starbucks, we're nearly there. Keep the car tank full and our tanks are going low. We've still got a little way to go. Unpin my pearls and fling them into the air. Swirl me with your silk rather than that milk. A left to right and indicate down to first and take out the keys. We've completed our socialising league. Now play my piano with your fingertips, open underworld and take a taste of sweetness of our home as we're born sleepy.
Thank you so much, Kat. That was really, really great. And I'm sorry the microphone doesn't go up to 11.
Is that on full?
I don't know. It sounds alright, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Just got to get closer to it.
Okay, like this?
That's it.
I mean, I'm practically kissing it. Okay, next I'd like to bring up Mike, who's going to read us a poem now, and then a poem in the second half. Let's everybody give him a big clap.
Life's short journey. Counting the lanes a girl must drive down before she becomes a woman. Being a girl and kissing the boys until you find a real man. So who's counting? The number, dear sisters, is as many as you like. Same for the brothers. As many as you want, as many as you need. That sits quite right with you. I am filled with power. You are filled with power. There's no need to explain blood and water. Just paint the picture. Early adult disenchantment gives way to blossom, to spring water, to dusk and dawn, to outpouring. Orgasmic tickles of mind and body, explosions of love, earthquakes of longing, mountains of hope. Stop! I need money, asylum, my own front door, a little garden, a kitchen cupboard, a breadboard, a hippie teapot. Paint the picture yourself. Write the story yourself. Annihilate your television. Barricade the city library. Start again with fresh words. Topple the spire. The boring, relentless point, pointing at the empty sky. Dark deeds done in cassocks. Villains in pulpits. Preaching hypocrisy like confetti. This city's asleep. You're asleep. I'm asleep. There's something happening here, though. Space cadet lifestyles are taking off. Some talking behind the backs. Nothing said up front. No. Mr. Jones doesn't know what it is. But Cat Jones does. Bloody fucking Luger. Form a mob. Start a march, light the flames for the procession. Drive out the straights, the fascists, the breadheads, the racists. Put them on the Isle of Wight. Then sink the ferries and let's have a people party, an art people party in a creative natives world. And now in comes the reason and in comes the rhyme. Enroll for a course in art, crochet a purple heart, to sleep in a velvet bed, to rest a pretty head. She wakes with a start from being temporarily dead, drinks a Campari, a full measure, sells her car in a small ad. Price she is got isn't bad. Full purse she is glad. She starts looking for treasure, takes a bath just for pleasure, and waits for good weather. Her fetish is leather, trimmed with fresh heather. The street's getting wetter, she buys a red setter. She's written a letter, she's hoping for better. She landed in Reno, bought a copy of the Beano, borrowed a miracle in chrome Cadillac. Foot to the floor, the Speedo is showing a speed that's mind-blowing. Ooh, where we're going, there's no way of knowing. We headed off like superstars. A drive-by, fly-by, goodbye. Farewell to the supermodels in supercars and all the supermen in supercars. We will all become vanishing stars. Thank you.
Your road trips sound pretty fun. Thank you very much, that was great. Big claps. And next I am going to bring up Peter Rowe with no W, who I found out today can read upside down and write upside down.
Genius, the man is. Genius.
Yeah, and he can even read my illegible handwriting upside down.
Well, nobody can read it.
So that he could correct me and say there isn't a W in Rowe. Welcome to the stage.
It's all about journeys and travel, isn't it, tonight?
Yes. Yep.
So that's good. It just happens I've been on a journey because I've moved house. I think that's a journey, isn't it? So I'll start with this. How's that? That's all right, isn't it? Right. It's called On the Threshold. So, here you stand on the threshold of a new journey, a new adventure. An episode in a life lived. Lived well? Perhaps. Who judges but yourself? The only one to answer, the only one you need to satisfy is the one who looks you in the eye when you stand before the mirror. Step off the threshold. Step forward. Step boldly. You know the direction. Step with confidence. Step with panache, with style, with a marching band in your head. Do it with heralds and angels blowing triumphal tunes on golden trumpets. Do it with ticker tape raining from the sky. Do it with the certainty that you have made the right choice. A word of caution. Don't let the door close behind you if your car keys are still inside.
Yeah.
I did make it eventually. So I was sat on the doorstep yesterday morning, and I was watching butterflies, and I was watching spiders then, little tiny spiders on strings of silk. They're just blowing along in this thing. So this one's called Flying into Summer. Morning sunlight filtered through leaves dapples my legs in golden light. Summer is finally here. But sitting on the doorstep watching raggedy butterflies flap between flowers and money spiders flying by on gossamer threads blown by chance and the warm breeze until hanging silks catch on dancing leaves and they make their homes. On the front step of my new house I sit, weaving words into a web that will catch the imagination, spinning clauses and adjectives into long threads. Sentences, sentences into stanzas, stanzas into poetry, making sense of everything that blows before my eyes. To be a spider on an aerial silk, a first-time flyer, detached from all that I know, there is freedom in that. No boxes of stuff to hold me down, no thoughts and memories to anchor me in a place. A fresh start, with a clean slate, no expectations, no rent, no demands, living only in the moment, until some bird decides I'm lunch. This one's another journey, but it's a journey of a different sort. It's journey back in time this time. Right, so a bit of poetic license there. It's called The Sweet Shop Van. Growing up in rural Derbyshire, we didn't have the joy of a second car, and getting from A to B was done on Shanks's pony. And the supermarket giants were nothing more than toddlers. Local shopkeepers would trade from the back of a van, a butcher, with a hand-cranked slicing machine, cutting impossibly thin slices of tongue and ham that fell into meaty curls on the greaseproof paper below.
Remember that.
And then a fishmonger with a van full of ice, and we could feel the cold wave that fell out of the van when he opened the door. And we were fascinated by the flatfish and the multitude of strange creatures looking up from us from beds of ice in unblinking silence. And then there was a haberdasher who we thought had stepped off the pages of Arabian Nights, a turbaned Sikh, and when he opened his door, it was full of colourful fabrics, silks, buttons and ribbons. But nothing could compare with the magic of the sweet shop van. We saw only the little red Bedford as it came over the hill. The sweet shop van, the sweet shop van. And in the back there was a set of grocer's scales with big shiny brass weights all neatly stacked, and a shelf with big jars of sweets, chocolate limes, licorice torpedoes, humbugs, Everton mints, aniseed balls, winter candy. Sugary delights, dispensed into little paper bags, a weekly treat to silence the children while jam and spam was selected and the budgets were balanced and the week ahead was waiting.
Thank you so much, Peter. And I think the journey back in time is absolutely valid. We want everyone to just take this as, go with the flow, poetic license, like you said. Okay, I was going to bring up Sarah, so let's give her a round of applause.
Right, well, I'm going to travel, so it's how to get away and be at home. Is that loud enough?
Yes.
I so want to travel. I so yearn to fly. And yet it is time that is flying, and another year's going by. So what is the calling? What does travel represent? When I depart from who I am here, and a new me I will invent. This new me feels her freedom. The new me seeks adventure. So when I return in the autumn, I'm all set for a new venture. My heart will have been opened, my passion ignited. New opportunities I will embrace, new perspectives invited. So what can I do when I can't get away? To give my mind the kind of break allows my heart to have its say. I could take a rest amongst nature, breathe openness into my heart, time to connect to the inner wisdom only self-awareness can impart. For the soul speaks in ways too much busyness can't hear. If you want your passion to truly lead you, it's your mind you need to clear. So choose to give it space. Allow your heart to truly roam. Meditation is an escape. Escape to where your heart will bring you home.
Thank you so much, Sarah. I always feel like your poems are like full of wisdom. I think they need, like, you should write an advice column in poetry. That would be really cool.
You missed. Are you not going to do any more? I suppose you've done yours.
Okay, next up is Destiny. If you're ready to perform, let's give her a round of applause. So I've never really been travelling much, so I decided to do mine on time travel. Good idea. Look up, the darkness whispered. Do you wish to travel time? For there are centuries of stories hidden inside the stars to shine. Yet, what you see is just a sentence in a title with many more. Sorry, I'm going to start again because I feel like...
Breathe.
Yeah, go back in time and then start again.
Just what I needed.
Depressed.
Your mum friend.
Look up, the darkness whispered. Do you wish to travel time? For there are centuries of stories hidden inside each star's shine. Yet what you see is just a sentence in a tale with many more. For the light that reaches us now left its home countless years before. And someday in the future, long after you say your last goodbye, perhaps someone else will turn their eyes up to the sky, and where now you just see darkness, they will see a brand new light, the beginning of a story that has just left home tonight. Okay. Consider me a time traveller. I've spent a fortune in hours rewinding to the pasts I cannot leave behind, fast-forwarding to the futures I believe will exist. But whatever direction I go, and however long it will take me to get there, you will always be where I arrive. You are the destination, the point of interest, the scenic route. No matter how long the delay, keep looking for me. Wherever you are, I'm almost there. Thank you, Destiny. That was beautiful, and what a good way to go with it.
And with the green light on your face as well, it just really...
I don't know.
Yes.
The time travel aspect.
I got that.
A wonderful hippie alien coming to visit us. That's a compliment, that really is a compliment. Okay, next up is Edwin, if that's okay.
In the dawn road, we crawl after our leader, cars and trucks behind a peddling bleeder. White vans slow behind this racing biker, sweating to his grave in clownish lycra. In Britain, this friendless fool won't be shot or run over, knifed in a ditch to rot. The late for work and midwife has no road rage. The bus driver waits like a wise old sage. The fire engine, surely in an emergency, or police car ambulance, you can see. Would the athlete pull over and let them pass? This determined lad with a scrawny arse. From her garden, a woman waves and smiles at this self-righteous cause of rush hour trials. She's made me feel old, bold, lazy, fat and weak, jealous of bike bastards' hard-won physique. Do you want more? I've got those.
Yeah!
Okay.
With you up to chicken.
I think we've got to give him a round of applause for that.
Yeah.
And for the benefit of the tape, can you stand a little bit more in front of the mic?
Driving home down a Wiltshire Avenue, past a Stone Age mound and a gypsy camp, thatched houses, the sign of a pub I know, a classic motor on a garage ramp, two nearly nude women out for a jog, our house past the trees, the core of my life. Park in the drive, large wags from a small dog, big hugging kisses, my wise witty wife. A patio supper, some distant church bells, TV detectives, stories of dread, emails from grandchildren, so much to tell, snob on the couch, now cuddle in bed. Yes, of course I know I'm a lucky sod, it almost makes you believe there's a God.
One more.
Okay, it's a long one, but not the longest, yeah. In cold dark, away from the city's bright, with engine off and blanket tight, a lonely working trucker sleeps tonight. The mist parts to a white owl's ghostly flight, over dark tomb of a medieval night, and nettled graveyard beneath cloudlight. At the tarmac edge, a mouse in fright cowers from the stoat and weasel spite, where once an ancient coven held their right. A wounded rabbit screams in final plight at the slab of a wartime ack site by the spring of a Roman water sprite. A vixen scents the ghost of Barrow White, her fox scrapes at ancient battle dyke, unafraid of dead who have no might. No living human eyes ever alight on haunting living mists and awful sights, existing just beyond our ken at night. Oblivious to nature's endless fight, with engine off and blanket tight, our tired working trucker sleeps tonight.
Thank you. I was about to say how really very spiritual, and then the last line. I love it though. It's so like. What's the word? Yeah.
Edwin.
Sorry?
So like Edwin.
Yes. There we go. So like Edwin.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it was like oh yeah, it feels really spiritual. And then you said about the trucker. It was funny. Okay. So we have two more people coming up. But one of those two people is one person being two people. So I'm going to bring up John, who is currently Ian tonight, because Ian is having a lovely adventure without us in Scotland with his beautiful wife, and they keep putting up lots of lovely pictures, but he has written several poems for us to read tonight. So welcome, Ian.
I'm sorry, I'm a second-rate Ian.
You're looking ill, Ian.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, you need to get out in the sun.
Yeah, Bart, he didn't take us with us. Did he? No, right. Okay, well, he sent loads and loads, and I wouldn't do them, but he'll see the tape. Maybe we say it broke. All right.
It's on camera.
No, it's all right. Yes, okay, right. What should I start? Oh, I don't know. There's one that can bring. Let's start with the big one, world tripping, which is sounds very hopeful. World tripping. On a slow, I haven't read these at all before, so if I stumble, you have to forgive me. World tripping. On a slow train to Kathmandu, you leave your worries behind. Levitating yaks and enlightened meditation help the mind unwind. Climb the Himalayas for a sensational top of the world view. Tumble down ferocious rapids with a snow leopard in a canoe. Wander the Serengeti with a meerkat and a smelly wild boar. Watch all the while for a crocodile and a hippo's devastating jaw. Ride a giraffe through the grass and win a wild and crazy race. Have your dinner on plates of straw with a Maasai warrior's painted face. I had tea with a tiger, then rode an elephant through the Taj Mahal. Ate curry by the Ganges while monkeys cooked some tarka dal. Spent a night on a train to Rajasthan with a snake-charming fella. Built a houseboat from bamboo cane and cruised the canals of Kerala. From Alice Springs to Boomerang Flings, driving upside down in a ute. Sydney Harbour Bridge to Blue Mountain Ridge, fine wine from gloriously swollen fruit. Swim the barrier reef, play cards with sharks and pick plastic from their teeth. We got a shock, can't climb it as rock, respect history of Uluru and what lies beneath. Across the pond on a bald eagle, a big apple in my hand. Muscle cars to Hollywood stars, everyone has a part to play in Disneyland. So vast, many have never seen the sea. From Cape Cod to Venice Beach, 50 states and 50 cents. A dollar too much is always spent. A dream just out of reach. Blankets of grey don't keep tourists away. Long lens protrude from an open-top bus to see the Queen and all the controversy in between, not sure why all the fuss. Wore the crown jewels, dressed as a fool, and Morris danced across Tower Bridge, Knightsbridge, Camden and Carnaby Street. I just got a magnet for my fridge. Aztec gold and civilization of old until the Spanish came to stay. Inca trails as the jungle prevails. Will a wise jaguar lead me astray? Anvil hammer to tequila slammers as the paleskins party on the beach. Giant gods look at God as they exceed the debauchery they reach. Sailing to sun-soaked islands, you mind and thought travel today. Jamaican herbs will help to chillax and wash all your worries away. Reggae music and calypso beats to dance with dolphins on a Kingston street. Spiced rum and under the palm tree fun, the blues it will surely defeat. From holy cheese to tax haven greed, a mountain train driven by a chamois, a chocolate cable car will take you so far to ski naked for the camera. A yodel contest, who can sound the best, echo across the valley so wide, so neutral it could pass a pH test and leave everything for others to decide. Cycle up Mount Fuji with a plate of makisushi delivered by a bullet train. Wrestle a sumo in your pants and run through Tokyo to a karaoke refrain. In the island of the rising sun, sake not the only fun. Hiking so small is the true way. Manga, anima, not the staple for the day. Don't pin your hopes on gentle bows and endless cosplay. Around the world in 80 flicks. Netflix, Discovery, Amazon for pretty pics. Rich and famous, influence fakers, posts and tweets, crave for a million clicks. To journey far and near is a privilege, not a right. Do you need to take that flight? Take care of our fragile world, leave no footprint behind, and we just might. Should we do one more? One more. That was a very long one. Sorry, Ian. It was a lovely long one, Ian. Lovely. Great. Ian. Right. Why not write a nature poem? To write about the beauty around me would be a delight. Like the poetic greats, how they take you there. Lose you in the mists of emotion and succulent ambience. Such eloquent imagery and poignant words are way out of sight. I stand and breathe in the magical scene before me. I commit it to digital technology. I try to imprint the energy on my thoughts, but words fail, flailing hopelessly to conjure the appropriate superlative. To evoke the emotions washing over me, crafting precision, capturing the moment, words to savour, words to salivate over, mouth-watering pictures painted for the mind, savage, stunning, woeful, the right tone I cannot reach. I feel the landscape, I am at one with the sounds of nature, my words are lost in the wind, swirling skywards into space, so weak they would make an alien laugh, not haunting like the gull's cry, but comical in the extreme, frightened to embarrass myself, disappointed at my lack of English finesse, but my heart will remember, my soul has absorbed the joy before me, I alone felt this, I alone shared this moment with another. Words cannot take this away from me. After all, they are just words. My memory is infinite. My thoughts and dreams will last forever.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Ian. Thank you, John, for reading Ian's words. And what lovely, lovely words. It was really nice to hear them. So thank you for being the altar, Ian. That was a lovely journey. It was a good journey. Right, before I bring up the fabulous Nicky, I was just going to say we'll be taking a break after that, and if you haven't already contributed, we are very much happy to receive your £3, which will help us to get wonderful things like guest poets and the banner that we should have next Poetika. We are getting a lovely banner with a lovely logo on it, and it will be behind you. So when you take,
It's behind you.
it will be, and when you have your photos taken, you'll be able to put them on Facebook with this banner behind you, and you'll look so professional. So make sure you pay your £3, otherwise we won't take the photos. Okay, right, Nicky, give her a round of applause.
I noticed I already pulled 2 out.
She does the money thing much more clever than I do. I'm just like, right, get your money out! Anyway, travel. I haven't really got anything about travel, so I thought my journey down to this part of the world. In 1994, I moved down here, and it was quite a different city. 26 years ago, there wasn't a lot of northern migration, so I did actually have this accent, so it was proper right down there like that. And I got hit by a wall of sort of classism, and also lots of stupid questions. It's like nobody from Salisbury had ever gone up north before, so
They probably hadn't. They probably hadn't.
No, they probably hadn't, yeah. So it annoyed me, so yeah, I wrote this poem. So I wrote this fucking donkeys years ago, but anyway. Predisposed. I'm an alien. I'm an illegal alien. I'm an northerner in Salisbury. Clash, smash, class, south, clean mouth, English rose, north, dirty mouth, mucky face. No, it's not lunch, it's me dinner. Bash, backlash, yeah, I will, you cheeky bastard. Dirty mouth, mucky face. No, it's not dinner, it's my tea. Don't be looking at me like that, or I'll rob your house, set fire to your car and kidnap your cat. But then my northern guilt will kick in and I'll probably end up cooking you a nice roast dinner. Yeah, with Yorkshire puddings and all if you like. Clash, smash, class. There isn't an R in Bath, so leave it out. Broth. How many mates have you met with a gentle northern lilt? None, because there isn't none. I'm going to continue on this till because the stupid questioning kept coming from the 90s locals, cocals and the poshans. Personally, I did love the shock factor. There's nothing like a good detractor. Yeah, I know, Noel. Yeah, I know, Liam. I shagged him once in a bus shelter in Wigan. He was shit. I've had bigger tampons. Yeah, I know Sean. Yeah, I know Bez. I taught him how to dance. Twisted his melon, man. Yeah, I know the entire cast of Coronation Street. They're all on crack. I should know. I used to sell it to them. Craig Charles took over my patch when I left. I didn't mind, because us poets got to keep together, you know, respect. Yeah, I know Morrissey. He was at our school. He was always asking for extra homework, right? Tool he were. Yeah, I know New Order. That bird who plays keyboard was our local youth club tramp. A bottle of Strongbow, and she stamped any lads cherry. Smash, bash, clash. Are we finished yet? Yeah, I know John Cooper Clark. He used to go out with my sister. Our man followed him around the house spraying air freshener after him. He stank. It's not a nice cup of tea. It's a proper brew. What's up with you? But don't be looking at me like that. Bash, clash, or I will rob your house, set fire to your car and kidnap your cat, because I'm like that, see? Bash, clash, a northerner down south, big mouth, mucky face, an alien that don't fit in. So if you keep it coming, I will end up robbing your fucking house. And that's how he saw me. I don't know why.
Nothing's changed much, really, though.
I've got enough of this since then. Yeah, so talking about home, going down a completely different hill now. Quite depressing one really, but yeah. It's 58 years this month since the Moors murderers began their killing spree in my home area. Obviously, they were put in prison the year before I was born, but the legacy they left behind in the areas where we grew up is still there now. It's never going to go. And I wrote this poem years ago, and I actually won a Potika's Poetry Award for this. So yeah, I just wanted to sort of remember the kids. It's called Manchester Morning. Red bricked huddled houses in streets sewn together with sixfold or more families, cobbled in concrete. Yellow glow of lights illuminate fights between kids with crew cuts who really should be in bed by now. Steaming pots of lots of tea add smoke to the smoke from the factory, with the evening news to peruse, the newfangled television to amuse. The streets are a playground, full of cold air, bouncing around, children sound. No. An open cage unleashes a new age of promiscuity, probability, rock and roll, all the way from the US of A. Play Super Bowl. The flicks, the footy, the dance down the tunnel, an era of change. More so for some, as they could never envisage the heartache to come. A fairground, a market, a street, a railway station. With dangerous intentions lurk monsters from hills full of masochistic mischief and a desire that kills. Hush, little children, don't say a word. Your cries from the moors weren't intended to be heard. Gorton to Ancoats, Longsight to Ashton-under-Lyne, Hyde to Hattersley, Salford to Saddleworth. Silence, laid in silence, while the scent of peat-sodden heather drifts down around this city with the added aroma of violence. Thank you. Right, bring it back up. I did this one last month at the, no, not last month, when was it? February? 3 months ago.
That's 5 months ago.
Yeah, did it for the Poetika Valentine's one, but we were on Zoom, so I think only one of you heard it. This is called, just as a prelude, do you remember the days before the internet? You know, the beautiful days when there was nothing, and yeah, we all had to get off our ass and do things.
Library.
Yeah, yeah. Well, the thing is, dating in them days, all it were was like Lonely Hearts columns in newspapers, things like that, you know. So you'd have to write in, you know, man with GOSH, sense of humour, seeks lady for fun times and drives in the country on a Sunday sort of thing. Anyway, so this was inspired by that, but I've had to move it up a little bit to the modern day. This is called Or Nearest Offer. Woman with obvious disability in sustaining relationships seeks replacement for last loser who did not know which side his bread was buttered. Must be passionate and uphold the belief that monogamy is not an emblem embroidered onto ties and handkerchiefs. Must be 100% loyal but tolerant of bumbling indiscretions. Must have no female friends unless they're disgustingly ugly. All male friends should be incredibly horny and desperate to sleep with me given the slightest chance. Must hate all my female friends and find them sexually repugnant and inferior to me in every way. Must understand that my male friends are just friends, and that's different. Must be caring and gentle in bed, but willing to have chocolate smeared over parts of their anatomy. Mustn't come before me, and upon orgasm must shout such comments as, "You're beautiful," or "God, you're the best ever," or "God, I love you." Must be practically a virgin, but have a sophisticated knowledge of sexual technique. Must be willing to love everything I do and say, and must be intelligent, but not so much so that it undermines my simplistic thought process. Must be also seeking an all-consuming love, but will settle for friendship and a quick share. If interested, swipe right.
Check your messages as well.
Thank you so much. It sounds like the perfect chat. Oh, that was great. Got your drink? Now I know. I love you. Okay, thank you very much, everybody. We are going to take a short break, 15 minutes approximately, which will give you enough time to get a drink, go to the toilet, and if you haven't paid us, give us some money for our lovely new banner.
Give us your money, honey!
Thank you very much, everybody. Hello. Okie dokie, welcome to the second half. The wind in my hair is a sail, is a sail, is a sail, and the salt on my lips is the kiss of the sea on a breeze, briny droplets on a breeze, sun blush, sunburnt, tomato cheeks and smiles, carried on a breeze, on a sea breeze on the sea. Just a little something to start us off. Anyway, I am first of all going to bring up Mike, then Nicky's going to do a few more poems, and we'll go with the flow after that. So Mike, please come up. Give him a clap. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Nice shirt.
Right, fancy hats.
Yes, please.
It's not an offer.
Oh, sorry. You didn't say fancy that. You said fancy hat.
Fancy hats, as worn on the head. Thank you, Mr. Brad. There's a lot of heckling. There's a small crowd, but there's a lot of heckling.
Tough crowd.
That's because we're filth.
We're from the north.
There's a few
Exactly.
northerners in. That's what it is. That's why we got trouble. It's the northerners. You want to turn it?
Don't start, or your car will be on bricks.
And I'll kidnap the cat.
Oh, it already is.
Alright, I'll behave. Alright. Fancy hats. There's some instructions and they should have to follow them. Don't dance with mannequins. Don't turn humanness into sins. Don't put books into bins. Don't. Do. Have a collective celebration, generation, excitation, expiration, veneration, and then dance. Baby, 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 3 times a lady, a man on the moon. Grain of salt hidden in a sand dune, freedom tune hidden in a hymn and hers. Walk the walk, talk the walk, walkie-talkie, walking, talking. Do you copy over and out to utopia? Me-topia, they-topia, we-topia, we don't actually. One fine day, Mindy and Mork, anyone remembers that? We're upside down. On my piano, my old piano, the old Queen Joanna, yet royalty is boring. Sitting in big chairs, they never sit on stairs, floors, or boxes, it's always big chairs. And they always, have you noticed, they always walk in straight lines, and others move aside very quickly. The peasants part like the Red Sea, bowing and scraping. Excuse me, pardon me, bollocks to that. A human is a human is a human, however fancy the... Thank you.
Though I'm not wearing a hat today. Okie dokie. Nicky, come up and entertain us, please.
Oh, yeah.
See, that's what I find funny about you, Wendy, is
Sorry.
that out anybody.
It's me again.
However, when it comes to
Right.
situations,
It's been a hard day's ride when peace takes over.
I'm not just right out there.
This poem does not rhyme. Okay, just some of the time. This poem has substance and lots of other words in it too. This poem only talks about itself. It's so introspective it is actually disappearing up its own arse. This poem is not even a real poem, in all honesty. And I cannot tell a lie, although that isn't strictly true. This poem knew what it was getting itself into, but didn't listen to my advice. About right. This poem wanted to rise like Shelley's lions, but only managed a Kit Kat break. This poem thought it was going to be all right. Someone had to put it straight, so I introduced it to my inner editor, who's a right twat, I'll tell you. This poem, look at the state of it. Anyone would think it was written by a Tory MP. This poem began with good intentions. Yeah, right. This poem wanted to connect. It expected a platform for its voice to object when its own thoughts, feelings and opinions have the ability to affect. Well, yeah, life isn't like that, is it, poem? This poem has an embarrassing.
You're going to be home late tomorrow.
It took me ages to write that. This poem could be more, but less is more, and I'm a lazy bitch. This poem has no end, really. It's become a parody of itself, created its own vacuum in which it continues to indulge itself, and I don't know about you, but I'm really fucking bored of it right now. Thank you. I hate poetry.
It comes across.
That's the only time I am getting.
This lady hates
That's the only
sex.
time we would get.
Are we going now?
Yeah, well, we're going because it.
It's not for me. Oh no. Not
Don't wait on us.
sex.
We're waiting on cats.
I have more fun chipping leftover casserole off my glass Pyrex. And I know what people would say, that I've got a complex. But it's more trouble than it's worth, all that getting undressed. I'm not insinuating that my figure's past its best, but there's one thing I'm particular about, and that's keeping on my vest. It's not for me. No, not sex. It's taking off my specs. Then I can't see anything. Everything is bleeding convex. My Charles said to me only last week, he said, "Hey doll, how about you and me going upstairs and doing naughty things?" I said, "Not on my new mattress, you won't, or on the bloody springs." He said, "Oh, come on. I'll be a lion, and you can be a tigress." I said, "Give her a reminding, will you? I'm trying to listen to the archers on the wireless." I said, "Anyway, I'm not having you fiddling with my front bar. You don't cut your nails." Last time I let him, 3 weeks later, I was still numb. Really. Anyway, I get more pleasure from a nice cup of tea. Because I don't like sweating or sex. No, thank you very much. Not for me. Do you want one more? We got time?
Absolutely.
Okay. Journey, time journey. Death. That's cheery, isn't it? One of my favourite subjects. This feels too high for me. When it's time, I want to wear a green mac over the top of my other coat. Cardigan, blouse, vest and girdle. I want the brightest yellow headscarf tied tightly under my sagging chin. I want to stand out, but I want to fit in. I want pocketfuls of fluffy mint humbugs and old bus tickets. I want a purple rinse, pink lipstick adorning my teeth. I want whooping big knickers holding the folds beneath my drooping breasts. I want sensible skull shoes. I want knitted dolly toilet bowl covers for me down and upstairs loos. I want proper china mugs, as chipped and as knackered as me. I want to be swimming in cups of tea. I want a bright red shopping trolley. I want a multicoloured floral rain brolly. I want a deck chair on the pier and never feel the sand beneath my feet. Oh, yeah, and I want a stand stair lift seat. I want wrinkles as deep as the grooves in a toast rack. I can't wait to moan about the pain in my back. I want a hump that would make Quasimodo green. I want to dazzle people with dentures that gleam as white as snow. Because I want everyone to know that in my heyday, I was bought too many chocolates by dashing young men, and I was as sweet as the centres inside of them. I was a strawberry delight, a coffee cream, a champagne truffle, every man's dream. I want meals on wheels, I want OAP special deals, I want craggy old hands that tell my story, and a purse full of coppers, and I'm gonna revel in the glory of keeping shop assistants waiting while I fumble for my change. I want to be normal, but very strange. At my funeral, I want everybody to sing the Bay City Rollers classic, bye bye baby, baby bye bye, at the top of their voices, and no one is to cry. I want beer can stains and sausage roll crumbs to adorn my coffin lid at the wake. Go out like a party animal, yeah. I want a happy death day cake. I want to depart in a special way. You know, what a really magical day. Or else, I'm not coming. Thank you. Thanks for listening.
Thank you so much. I think that was way better than when I'm an old lady, I'll wear purple. I think that's a better alternative. We'll try and promote that one. Frankly. Okay, next up I am going to bring Destiny if you're ready. Thank you very much. We'll make it work. Okay, so I am a time traveller. I have seen the beginning of all, and one day will see the end. But I am a time traveller. I have seen the beginning of all, and one day will see the end. But is there really ever an end, or just what we know as death? The time that we no longer inhabit this vessel, the form that you see as me, this body, my skin, it is just a disguise. Energy can never truly die. So why should I? I am constantly evolving, becoming my true form. Though I'm always wondering what it would be like to be a tree, to change with the seasons, to drop my old leaves, and every spring to be reborn anew, with new foliage and buds awaiting the summer to take a stage, to grace the earth with the fruits of my labour, to be grounded and connected with everything. If only trees could talk, what stories they would tell. No wonder that humans feel so finite, for we are just a blink of an eye. Though I do not believe in this futility, as I am made of stardust, and that is not the last of me. Destiny, you're absolutely made of stardust. I love that. How apt. Okay, Sarah, could you come up, please?
Right, so this one's on the travel theme, although a little bit more contentious than my normal agony aunt would be, shall we say. So it's, where's my freedom? They'll ask me here, they'll ask me there. My COVID passport, I don't want to share. Yes, I want my freedom. Yes, I want my rights to roam the world freely, visit all the sites. I don't want restrictions based on debatable facts, using fear and coercion that I must have the vax. What happened to natural immunity with which I've travelled the world? I've eaten right and sleeping right, mastered my energy as it unfurled. Now I'm told this isn't enough. This ancient practice of millennia, Big Pharma want to practice, so I'm grounded till I surrender. So they push me here and they push me there, creating internal anger, just waiting to flare. A million are marching in our own capital city, mainstream media not reporting our democracy I pity. Self-responsibility, no longer a choice. State control, that brings us. Preventing the public having a voice. Creating propaganda, don't fool us. Trust only your intuition. Seek for yourself your own truth. Before I inject experimental substances, safety and efficiency, I want proof. Meanwhile, I trust in my body, as I've cared for it so well, to rise up and fight infection. Big Pharma can go to hell. And a little bit is rise up and have, if you have objections, make Big Pharma revoke their spell.
That was great, very topical. Hopefully we will be travelling soon and we won't have to deal with that. Oh, okie dokie. Next up, Edwin, if that's okay. Welcome to the stage. Sorry, I should have been telling people when they were going to come. Oh no! Does she not know you're at Poetika? Cheeky wife.
He probably thinks he's out in the shed. He thinks he's with his fancy woman, he's much worse.
Fancy woman.
I'm out in the shed. Yes.
I'm just in the loo. Take a long time.
I don't think I've done this one recently. Dragons. Right. In unkempt yards of privacy, supping coal from hollow hills, in old tin sheds where few folk see, there's dragons live in Britain still. Grumpy men with whirling skills and hands of iron like olden days wield spanners forged in giant mills to coax them out of sleepy ways. In England, summer's come once more, Wayland's hammer strikes again. They hear it call like days of yores and steam away down quiet lanes. At dusk, far off the motorways, the maids who know how magic's made brew tea in leafy gypsy lays as dragon's breath fries eggs on spades. Then, field of wonder, mere mortals adore at Tarrant Hinton as dragons roar. Steam Festival, you know.
Yeah, got that.
That's what it was about.
Ah.
Yeah. Remembering club-matic green gauges? I don't know if I've done that recently. Remembering club-matic green gauges. I remembered wind and wild white horses when I heard Mike read his poem on waves. Ski boats, bikinis, tropical forces, but water can be still as the grave. Bored in the airless hotel bar, my hepatitis meant I couldn't drink. I could cool off in a fast open car or go down to the water and think. Couples sweating in the windless night, mosquitoes, moths, dance and Roomba guitars, treading insects killed by hotel lights, alone on the beach, the mirror of stars. Crickets and fireflies till the moon rising, and dark became silver and bright. Beams drove stars from the far horizon and flooded the deep with light. Then, as if the universe planned, one ripple, powered by moonlight, plopped at my feet on the sand, and tide wind brushed me with delight. Shelley said moonbeams kissed the sea, but that night I think the moon kissed me.
Okay, I can bring you back up again if you
No, only if anybody else wants. I mean,
Save some for next time.
Eh?
Save
Save some for next time.
I might have written some by next time.
Okay, next up I'd like to welcome Ian Chorlton in the form of John Bruce. Please come. Welcome Ian.
You look different. Put your hair out.
Still not looking good. Poor bloke's aged 20 years. Right, oh, we did that one. And we did that one. Right, oh, but there's still 3 more. Right, well, I'm sitting down, this is good. Ian, would you sit down? I don't know. Right, wander. That's good, that. Wander. I wander, sorry, start again. I wander aimlessly in search of a direction, or wander carefree in search of nothing at all. A clear mind to absorb and engage with my surroundings, leave preconception and judgment at the wilderness door. I won't latch on to the first connection, thirsty for familiarity. Wander with purpose, intention to experience the now, or wander lightly, caressing the air, dipping in and out of the sounds. I am curious, tentative, able to feel, willing to let go, leave spiralling dead ends behind, brave the branching tree. I won't get entangled, ensnared, fear keeping me still. Wander wisely, in search of emotion beneath the surface, or wander down hidden caverns in the mind following a light. I trust my intuition to connect organically with myself, leave constricting form aside, and forge a new path. I won't be blinded by false glare. I will follow my heart. Sorry, that was me messing up, making a face about messing up. Not about the poem. Right. God, such a... Oh dear.
It's hard being
Exactly. Trains, planes and ferry boats. Trains, planes and ferry boats underneath the stars. Traffic jams, an open road in a roofless car. Spot the stolen lines from the water boys. Too many rich wasters fill the land with boys' toys. Trucks, ducks and helicopter whilst beneath the submarine lies. Flies, groans or roars as pollution fills the skies. Pave paradise and put up a parking lot, the famous line that the businessman forgot. Muscle cars and dragsters entertain and blur your view. To unwind is divine, but don't knock the environment askew. How many roads must a man drive down before he can truly see? Dylan years ahead of time, but still the blind man runs free. Rockets jet and white van man relentlessly weave around the world. Ignore the inevitability as the climate disaster is unfurled. Lost in music, caught in a rap. Nothing is sacred. Jugger naught. No looking back.
So Ian.
Right, one more about, I don't know if anybody else had trouble with their drinks, but the local inhabitants really like my beer. This one is called Mr. Midges.
Oh.
Mr. Midges, so he's in Scotland, obviously. Coat on, coat off, sun cream and repelling spray, jacket, hat, short and swimsuit, a month's packing for a day. Sun spotting, there is a distant gap of blue, map, snacks and walking tracks, mud trudging for a view. Distilleries and ancient mysteries, try a dram or 3. Hazy peaks and deep pooled dips, scotch, not red wine, and brie. Haggis and neeps and sweet Scottish treats, oysters, scallops, mussels from the sea, a palate's delight to bagpipe beats. Net on, net off, keep the creatures at bay, mist and midges, forests and ridges, beaches to take your breath away. Climb up, hike down, swim, fish and sail, seals, otters, eagles and a whale, mill ponds, seas, but clouds without fail. Quiet days, crazy days, travel all around, stop, look, breathe and feel, relax, listen, only nature's sound. It's easier easier than writing your own stuff, isn't it?
Well, thank you so much, Ian, from in Scotland. We're sad you can't be here, but at least you're travelling. Okay, I brought up everyone, didn't I? That was. Has anyone been missed up? That's because I moved you. Yes, I'm really sorry, Peter.
I thought it's because you really didn't want another. Oh, sorry.
No, it's because I moved you around. I thought there was someone missing, and I was
Get your coat, love.
yeah, no, right, up you come.
I didn't bring you.
No, it's because you change things around as you
It's all
come.
coming out. You just forgot, didn't you?
No, I didn't. I moved you.
Did you?
Yeah, I did.
I didn't feel a thing. Anyway, mouthpiece, it's your turn to move us. Is it? Yes. Oh.
Right, I'm moving you now to here.
Okay.
Well, you're moving yourself, which is called travelling.
Sorry, Peter.
So I might go off piste now. That's travelling, isn't it? Going off piste.
Oh God, we'll be knocking him out here.
Going off piste.
Going off piste, yeah.
Oh, sorry.
But I'm not piste. I tell you who is piste though. It's them bloody fruit flies in the dregs of my side.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know, I actually always wondered where fruit flies came from because you have some fruit at home or vegetables, they suddenly appear, don't they? Where do they come from?
Yeah.
There's a dawn in the house, the door's closed, the window's closed, and suddenly there's a fruit fly. It's like they can smell a kiwi going off and they teleport in or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's like a
And
Dr.
I know how they exist now. They survive on cider dregs and things. And they're having an orgy in the bottom of my glass right now. So, like this. Anyway, right, so I should do this one because I did this one at the Valentine's thing after Nick did her dating one. I can't remember whether I did this one or I did my other matching one. So this one's called Matching 2 because I've been doing that computer dating, you know, with the apps and things like that to try and find a significant other. Anyway, so this is called Matching 2. Okay, I'm a gentleman, an empathic, heteronormative, sapiosexual. That means that I have to have a meeting of mind before body parts. And I know that there are those that think that an introduction with a photo of a fish or some other sea creature is acceptable, but you will never get a bathroom selfie from me. I am a conventionally unconventional, perfectly, imperfectly, differently indifferent to the norms of societal expectations. I think too much, overthink, overanalyse, overindulge in poetic wordplay, hieroglyphic hearsay on every day of the week that contains day. I'm fantastic, bombastic, derived plastic, I'm overdramatic, I talk too much, I don't listen as often as I should do, I practice haiku and tong fu, I'm a cunning linguist and I can make words count. I can make words shout, and if you ask me what I'm all about 2. It seems like a perfect number because I've tried 1 and 1 is never quite enough. So low, a sharing go slow. I'm seeking my 1 to make 2 because that's got to be better than just me or just you. So, forgive this rambling word flow, but this is me, open and honest, no trees, no forest to thread through, to find the meaning what I say, because I'm like this every day. Direct, respect, circumspect, correct, connect. And these lockdowns have taught me that I like human contact. So just sitting with someone, enjoying conversation, to me seems like the most wonderful place to be. I'm a high-functioning, artistic, autistic, who makes eye contact, laughs and cries just like a real boy. I sometimes miss punchlines or subtext. I'm a volunteer, an organiser, a committee sitter. I should be fitter, but someone said we had to stay at home. I'm happy to talk on the phone, happy to listen, and that usually happens when I'm not talking. I need a muse. So, if you could choose moments of extreme artistic admiration or artistic adulation and creative companionship in return for a little watering and feeding of a jobbing poet, Don't delay. Swipe right today. Terms and conditions apply. No cash alternative available as a substitute for the fee contained with this offer. This offer is not transferable. Right, where do you want me to go now? Do you want funny or do you want to be doom and gloom as well?
Funny!
Go dark.
Yeah, you made us laugh too much.
I've got past that.
Go dark.
Tragic.
Oh, bloody hell, I've got past that one. And, well, I've got a couple of travelling ones. I should do those then, because the other ones are a bit depressing. I'll do this one. Nature's patterns. A glistening frost sits on the cars, the trees layered in mist, locked cutouts. A crimson thread stitches the sky to the horizon, a hint of brave morning. 3 skeins of geese in ragged formation, honking as they cross the Dorset coast on this leg of their journey north. I snap a photo and remark to my brother on the phone that winter's over. Much later, 10 hours, he calls me back, sends me a picture from the Blue Bridge in Northumberland. Your geese have arrived. True story, that, the photos.
Really?
Yeah.
It's amazing.
It may not be the same geese, but it was pretty convincing.
Sorry, you.
This one I wrote years ago. It's called Metro Tango. It's a love story.
Oh.
I watch her reflection in the window. Houses pass behind her face. Our eyes dance away for a while, and she smiles a smile, an almost smile. Our eyes lock. Our eyes accidentally touch. My heart skips a beat. Her foot moves. It catches my leg. More with my eyes, I beg. She turns to say something, stops. My heart thumps in anticipation. Our eyes together for a moment, sharing subliminal messages. Daring, daring, dancing with our eyes, a tango in a public place. A secret no one sees and no one shares, an act that neither she nor I quite dares. A final glance, a bow of the head, unrequited passion, a silent goodbye. She steps to her door, I step to mine. 2 strangers dancing in Metro economic time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shall I do my In Love with My Barista?
Oh, yes. It's your classic.
I'm in love with my barista. When I have a need for caffeine and the morning's nearly done, I head out to the cafe where the coffee's always on, where the staff are really friendly, and you're treated with a smile that says, come in and dally, stay with us a while. I may say I come for coffee, or a simple piece of cake, but I've fallen for my barista with a love I cannot fake. Or is it lack of caffeine messing with my mind? My thoughts are so distracted, and then she starts to grind. I'm the centre of her attention. She puts my drink upon the shelf, but it's the end of our transaction, so she turns to someone else. Our relationship is ended until another day. My coffee cup is empty. I should be on my way. They say the heart is fickle, and it's just a drink, of course. But falling in love with your barista could be grounds for your divorce. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for making us laugh as always. That was brilliant.
Without the poetry, too. Didn't see my lips move.
Okay, I'm going to finish us off. So, I mean, it's a bit loose with the theme here, but Okay, I actually wrote this one, I'm going to be perfectly honest, I wrote it for Valentine's Day as an anti-Valentine, and like, let's say it's a journey through like different kinds of relationship, maybe? Yes, this is I haven't actually performed it, and I thought it's a chance. And like, well, I know it mentions chemists, but it's not about you.
Alright.
Like in a good way. It's just about different types of men. I just feel like I have to cover myself. Okay, because I may be travelling home alone. It's called complications. Connections complicate themselves in musical chemistry. A chemist's lab is more of an adventure into alchemy. The pharmacists peddle their pills like they're as sacred and as massive as white film-coated monoliths, and the medics and the doctors practice their commitment myths. Meanwhile, the artists and the poets pervert the course with their wordy, well-thought-out catalysts. So we're back to chemistry, and the scientists are playing out their chemically altered, measured musical riffs and lamenting their failed relationships. And everyone thinks a manic pixie, manic depressive with a bike will do the trick. No one wants to admit there might not be a cure for this complicated tangled triangle of music, science, and ever-frustrated pricks. Yet a dash of glitter and the tip of a yellow hat could be the fix. Might do just that. Fix her, fix them, fix the challenge of men. Bag a stereotypical literary trope in the hope that her heart on her sleeve and the wheels of her mind on a breeze will be the antidote to the blankness on their page. With her skulls, her bicycle, her Raggedy Ann dress, an inky mess of love and rage, wanting to care and confess. It seems that caring makes it complicated to connect. Thank you. Basically, a lot of people think that you want to go out with them because you're talking to them, and apparently, like, being interested in people makes them think you're interested in actually them. Anyway. Okay, so I'm going to take us on a little poetry journey. So I am going to read if I can let me find it, the poem that made me come to Poetika in the first place, except I can't find it, and then I'm going to read the first poem I ever read at Poetika. However, it hasn't turned up. Okay, it's a bit gritty, it's a bit intense, and it's still loading on the internet. Right. Okay, and now, okay, here we go.
I mean, that's quite a good first one, to be fair.
I know, I was quite impressed with that myself. Yeah, it was like coming from the cloud or something. Right, it's called Bend. And it is quite gritty. Smarting, buried blush, the rise high, the fall higher still. Game on, and I lay out. Show me your hand, I give you my royal flush. The king of clubs is a brute, and I love a brute in a black eye. Blue bruised mementos of a game lost or maybe won. I wasn't keeping count. I was on the floor. I was the one asking for more. Face down and breaking in. Forgive me, for I have sinned. Beat out the foulness, the filth, till I shudder red raw. The only pleasure for this guilty whore. Or perhaps a child who tried to cut herself out of a woman's shape. With jagged edges, like paper I fold, like paper I tear, and string myself up, a homemade kite, battered in the air. Shredded, a crumpled heap of mottled flesh and fresh hot stripes, and yet still this slut she bends, offers her worthless self to make amends, for lack of value, for unholy thoughts, willingly lowered shorts. So hit me until I'm bruised, hit me hard until I gasp, hit me harder still, until I am another person being hit, and the guilt is gone and I cannot sit. I try to exercise myself, first with blood and fire, then with pleasure, pain, denial, vomit, famine, feast, starve and sicken the miserable beast. Sins of the flesh cannot quell the hell, the raging hate, nor can the judge and jury, their daily sentences, the rituals, rules, the masked man standing over me, whip in hand, damaging the vessel ever soul damned. This little harlot is hiding her face, scarlet cheeks on pale white skin. Humility is good for sin, flagellant, deviant, wretched child, blazing, blistering shame that sears the body with a rod of flame, a marked woman, seething in blame. So beat out the devil, starve out the wrong, slash out the evil until I am gone. Beat me, game on.
Wow.
So I wrote that poem and I thought, okay, I quite like writing poems. I haven't written any in a while. Let's go to this Poetika thing that's going on. And then I thought, I really can't read that at this Poetika thing that's going on. So I will read another poem that's a little bit friendlier, and it actually is very much about travel. So,
I know this one.
yes, you do. It's called Colours, and it's a lot, well, it's sort of happier. Anyway, so this is the actual poem that I read the first time I went to Poetika. Colours. What, oh yeah, it's about India as well, by the way. Yeah, so travel. Okay, colours. What a day for perfection. I do's and don'ts and who is who's and wills and won'ts. The bride has been painted and packaged, a Disney princess bride. They wrapped her in shiny paper with tied knots and lots of glitter to dazzle, to bind her into her future. So bright, so full of petals, light and joy, that dances in the night's clinging heat. It begins, the seeping sweet. We are the decorated women, moving like dolls on teetering limbs that shake through the silken sequin sea. We make it open and obey. For us, make way, make way. Our unspoken commands, our unsaid right, glowing white. We hold our hands upwards, fingertips wrapped in floral stigmata, alabaster sculptures, works of art. The waves of colour clash, then part. I was a statue for an hour, touched, seen, with silk and spice my body wound, my chest bound and pinned in on itself. To keep in the acid and the voice, confiscated breath and pin pricked, I rocked on my pedestal sick, until they picked me up and delivered me, the others too, from evil, the chosen few. Here we attend our last supper, awaiting an end, elevated on our table as deities. Before us our dinner plates expand, as do I beneath the fat band of fabric that wraps and pulls me against my seat in this endless hall of consumption. They pull open our mouths, a service, and pour in their offerings as we gag and choke and cry and beg for salvation under the angered sky. Run, pale face, run from this sacred place where you are royalty. Run from force-feeding feast amid famine, a disgrace. Embrace the inevitable spew of sickly regret that can undo it all. The banquet could have belonged to you. It's yours. Take it, cry the colours. But it's over and you kneel on a floor that holds you. Fingers scrabble for broken shards of blue-scented glass, the remaining fragments of that perfectly formed picture. Perfumed air moving, clattering, shattering around you as they change scene for the end of the day. Pick up the pieces and carry you away. Thank you very much. So, thank you everybody for coming to our slightly quieter Poetika, but I think it's been lovely still. Thank you everybody for contributing. It's been wonderful. It's been so lovely to see you all, and I hope everybody has a nice evening.
Do you want to introduce next month?
Oh yeah, I'm also hosting next month. You get me again. Lucky you. So what was it? Beasts.
I don't know. You invented it.
I know. So when it was happening on the Wednesday, it would have been the 18th of August, which was my late dog's birthday. And obviously I saw that and I was like, it's Jasmine's birthday, so it has to be about animals. So I think it's beasts, animals and pets. No, beasts, pets and demons. That's it. Yeah.
Oh yeah, demons, spelled the funny way.
Yes, like Philip Pullman's Demons, you know that, like Animal Companion. So I think that's quite a nice one. It could
So
be
it'll be
quite
Tuesday the
spiritual.
17th?
Yes, not Wednesday the 18th. So the day after that I'll be crying over my late dog, but that day I'll be happy because you guys will be giving us lots of lovely poetry. And thank you very much. Have a good night.
Thank you.